Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, from Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling happenings from the WWE Superstars of tomorrow, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans on 1977, episode number 2,557 of the show. How's it going, everybody? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and whoever recently subscribed to me, thank you for your subscription and your support. I appreciate it wholeheartedly. 421 subscribers I'm at now. I'm only, 79 subscribers away from reaching 500. Hope I'll do it this year. If not, like I said, there's always next year. So, a little bit of news. I have not heard anything from the seller on Etsy about the t-shirt mix-up. As you know, I was supposed to get a Tony Storm t-shirt, but instead I got a Main Event Jey Uso t-shirt. I don't know if that's a mistake on their part or not. That is something to figure out. And like I said, if I don't hear from them, I'll probably going to. I haven't heard anything yet, and so I'm hoping. Like I said, I will try. I do. Will try a Tony Storm shirt sometime later this week when I get paid this coming Friday. So with bearing that in mind, so I do apologize, folks. I know, and I'm sure. It is kind of sucky, but you know what? It's okay. I'll be fine, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be fine. I still keep the shirt anyways and try again. All right? Boy, NXT. What can I say? It's like you had a feeling something big was going to go down on NXT. You knew this was going to happen when this title match happened. And thank you, Grayson Waller, you idiot. You turned and you know what? They had to wait until Ava was in England. So, and she says she trusts Stevie Turner and Robert Stone. Yeah, next time don't get Grayson Waller involved in something stupid, because every time the man opens his mouth, something stupid comes out. He's an idiot. Grayson Waller caused this to happen, and I'm telling you. William Regal even knew something was going to go down. Believe me, this is something that, Anyways, throughout the entire broadcast of NXT's TNA superstars were seen walking around the back and all that. In fact, when Obafemi and Trick Williams entered in the parking lot, you see some of the TNA wrestlers, like Eric Young, Moose, and then you had Matt Cardona was there. Everybody, the women were there. And now a lot of people have been. There is some allegations going on against Masha Slamovich. That's why she's not there, and that's why I don't think she has not been on TV that much lately. So there, there's rumors around that internet going on. Hopefully, everything gets squared away with her. But right now, we're going to talk about this. It kicked off with a lights-out match between Miles Bourne and Lexis King. These two have beaten the snot out of each other. And Miles Bourne, he had to be motivated with his girlfriend, Stephanie Vaquer, being the WWE Women's World Champion. And he was motivated, and he beat Lexis King one-on-one. Stevie Turner and Robert Stone were talking to Ava on the phone. Ava says, I trust you guys. And then Robert Stone was trying to tell Ava, hey, there's TNA wrestlers here. Did you invite them and all that? He said, I'm sorry, you're broken up. And then she hung up the phone. So Stevie Turner and Robert Stone goes, we got to do this, Ethan Page addresses the Orlando crowd. He was about to, he addresses Dr. Wagner Jr., and then Dr. Wagner Jr. came in the ring, called him out, referee. There was a fight. Both men were in their street clothes, and then it was like an impromptu matchup. Titles were not on the line at this point. And then Dr. Wagner and Dr. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. pinned Ethan Page, and it was a non-title match. But then, when he took off his mask, it was none other than Tavion Heights. Tavion Heights had played Ethan Page. Gotta love it, man. And you know what? I think he's trying to set an example of what would happen at No Mercy, and I think Tavion Heights just pulled a coup on that one. And Jordan Grace was watching Blake Monroe's video and promo on Jordan Grace, but then Ariana Grace, no relation, started talking some smack to Jordan Grace. You know what? I'm going to show Blake and everyone else what's going to happen. And Ariana Grace goes, I was like, Ariana, you done it this time, girl. You should never open up your mouth. Cole Custer won of NASCAR racers. The ring announced the number one contenders match for the Women's Speed Championship, as you know. So Ruka and Zarya were on the balcony watching the matchup. And the Angel Warriors, that would be TNA Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee, were watching the matchup too, I'm told. And and so Ruka and Zarya were writing funny signs on the balcony saying, who do you want to win? Lamy, that was funny, I guess. And there was a fun part is, I don't like either of them. Same. But in the end, Laney Reed had picked up the victory and will face Soruka for the Women's Speed title at NXT No Mercy. Jada Parker addresses Lash Legend. And Jada Parker says, clock it, we're not done yet. So I was like, okay. And then Lyra Valkyria was reunited with Tatum Paxley. Lyra Valkyria was once called Dove and Bird Lady by Tatum Paxley. But Izzy Dane came on the scene and said, hey, she'll leave you high and dry. And I'm like, right. But then Lyra Valkyria's got her own problems with Bailey. And Bailey's being like Two-Face from Batman or something. I don't know. Jekyll and Hyde, maybe. The good hugger Bailey's Jekyll, and then you got the damage control Bailey as Mr. Hyde. Anyways. And, so KO Dixie and Riot Connors apologized to Andre Chase. Andre Chase, that's okay, we can do this. And then, I got some people that want to talk to you. Sam Mayer and Cole Custer talk to Chase Hughes, saying, I'm a fan and all that. Dark State interrupts them, and he said, we can say his name, but don't say his name, And then KO Dixon goes, Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry shows up in a Racer's outfit. And he goes, I'm like, well, see you guys about the 6-man tag action. Yeah, and it was crazy. Joe Hendry. I love Joe Hendry, man. I'm going to show you something funny. Bird, bird, bird. Bird's the word. Bird, 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 bird. Bird's the word. Surf and bird. I love it. I just had a great day today. That's Tuesday. I'm going to Domino's Pizza, and they got me on the spot though. Anyway. Anywho. Okay. And then there's the Battle of the Graces. Jordan versus Ariana. And which Grace won? Jordan Grace. There you go. Jordan Grace won, and Stax was there to console Ariana. And in real life they're dating, but they're engaged, if I'm not mistaken. And then Blake Monroe shows up with a trash can full of goodies. What kind of goodies? Weapons. So Jordan Grace goes, okay, fine. I'll take the steel chair. Both women were using weapons. They were going at it. Security and referees break it up, or try to break it up. But they kept on going until Stevie Turner and Robert Stone came out and goes, enough. You know what? Bring all the weapons you got, because at No Mercy it'll be a weapons matchup. But then Robert Stone says, you know what? I like what you're thinking, but I got a better idea. No more running, no more hiding. Let's make this thing a weaponized steel cage match. And that was going to be at No Mercy. This coming Saturday, dude. Trust me on this one. it's going to get bowling shoe ugly. Two lovely ladies, and in a bowling shoe ugly match, it's going to get ugly, dude. You know? Anyways, Kelly Kincaid interviewed Laney Reed as she's going to challenge Sol Ruka, and then Fatal Influence interrupts her. But JC Jane wishes her best luck. He said, right back at you, champ. And then JC Jane realized, you know what? I don't need you to. I'll deal with Lola Vice. JC Jane addresses Lola Vice. And Lola Vice interrupts JC Jane, and they start talking some smack. And then Lola Vice knocks out JC Jane with a spinning back fist. Well, and she was holding the title in the end. And then Josh Briggs addresses the wrestling fan base and Javon Evans. He couldn't connect with fans, couldn't connect with partners. And Brooks Jensen had something to say about that on X. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brooks Jensen, gets involved in this matchup at No Mercy between him and Javon Evans. Meanwhile, six-man tag action. Joe Hendry and Chase U to face Dark State, the NXT Tag Team Champions. Saquon Sugars, Deion Lennox, and Osiris Griffin were the ones in the matchup. But then Cutler James gets involved, and Dark State ends up winning that matchup. Ricky Saints returns home to New Orleans, and he's going around where his childhood home used to be, but it got washed away by the storm and everything else. And he was connecting with the people in his hometown, saying, "Hey, I won betted against this man," and they're all rooting for him, which is really, really cool. Well, it's not going to be the last time we see Ricky Saints. Trust me on that one. Kelly Kincaid interviewed Javon Evans, and then all of a sudden they heard a big clang bang and all that. What's going on? Oh, I don't know. Whatever. And then after they get done with the interview, somebody yelled, "Medic, medic, medic," and then all of a sudden Jasmine Nix was laid out, and Fallon Henley said, "Oh my gosh, Jasmine, I thought you were watching." Well, we were. But I didn't think, you know what? We didn't need her anyways. Only the strong survived, and then Fallon Henley agreed. It looks like Jasmine Nix is going to be phased out of Fatal Influence, I think. But TNA wrestlers started coming around through the crowd for the main event matchup as Obafemi defends the NXT title against Trick Williams defending the TNA World title. These two guys were going at it. Mike Santana joined on commentary with Booker T and Vic Joseph. And then as Trick Williams tosses Obafemi outside the ring, you saw Frankie Kazarian there, Matt Cardona, Mance Warner, the ladies, the iconic Inspiration was there. And then all of a sudden, Trick Williams decided to do something real stupid. He confronts Mike Santana, smacks him first, and then Mike Santana hits him back. Referee rang the bell. Disqualification victory for Trick Williams. He keeps the title. So that means no titles change hands, so everything stays put. The titles stay put where they're at. And then before you know it, the TNA wrestlers jump in the ring, trying to go after Trick Williams, and then all the NXT wrestlers, men and women, came out, and then a full-scale brawl. It happened. If I were Stevie Turner and Robert Stone, they're going to have a lot of explaining to do to Ava, that's for sure. And let me tell you something. If I were Ava, she'd probably see this going, "Oh my gosh, what?" You know, that's what happens when you put Stevie Turner and Robert Stone in charge. Come on now. If I was NXT general manager and I had that situation, stop it, enough. I'll tell you what, No Mercy, we're going to have a 10-man and a 10-woman tag team elimination match. Here's the deal. TNA, choose your 5, I'll choose my 5. Same thing with the women. I've had enough. You know, that's what I would have done. But in the end, but Ricky Saints went over to the car, the cars and staring at the NXT title, and then Obafemi was getting up and grabbing it, and then they both looked at each other while everybody else was beating the crap out of each other. Referees and security trying to break it up, break all the fights. It's crazy. And the men, the women, they're all flying around. I'll tell you one thing, it was the craziest thing ever. It was the craziest thing ever. So September the 23rd, 2025, called Total Nonstop Anarchy. And Ava is in England, folks. How is Stevie Turner and Robert Stone going to explain this one, how to get themselves out of this situation? I'm telling you, it gets bowling. It's a bowling shoe ugly match. It was bowling shoe ugly. You had a feeling this was going to happen. So, you had a feeling that it was Boney Shoe Ugly. That match was going to happen. Okay, then. Here we go. I got my pad and pen here for. We have 6 matches. 5 of them, 4 of them are title matches. One's a no DQ match. Then we got a straight up matchup. NXT title on the line. It goes Obafemi defending against Ricky Saints. Meanwhile, North American title on the line. Ethan Page defends it against Tavion Heights. Women's title on the line. JC Jane defends it against Lola Vice. Women's Speed Championship on the line. So Ruka versus Lainey Reed. And weaponized steel cage match. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. And Josh Briggs one-on-one with Javon Evans. You know something? NXT title. I gotta say, I think it's time for Obafemi to be promoted to the main roster, folks. Ricky Saints takes it. Same thing with the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page should be on the main roster. I picked Tavion Heights to win it. JC Jane, Lola Vice. It's time that Vice takes the title. So Ruka, Lainey Reed. I say Ruka retains. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. I think I picked Grace. This is her kind of matchup. And Josh Briggs versus Javon Evans. I am picking Evans to win that matchup. So, here, I don't know if you guys can see it. Here's my picks and predictions. Thank you very much. Well, that's all the time we have on the show. Tomorrow we're going to spin that one-arm bandit against the Devil and the Joker's Wild. I am pretty excited about that. And not only that, I'm going to have, hopefully we'll have a great day. I had a great day today. I live streamed for the Renegade Shenanigans. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate it. What made my day is Chayton and Leon making peace with each other. Awesome. That made me feel good. I felt happy. I'm going to do one of these. Bird. Surf and bird. Yeah. All right. That'll be all the time. We have an NXT Event Center, the final one before No Mercy. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the next episode of the show. Like I said, 2558, Little Joker's Wild. We got WWE Evolve and AEW Dynamite Fallout from All Out. And already we have, Mina Shirakawa is going to be a busy young lady. Because Thursday, she'll be defending the interim Ring of Honor Women's Television title against Lacey Lane, the former Kaden Carter. Meanwhile, tomorrow night on Dynamite, she'll be challenging Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World title. So, humongous opportunity for Mina Shirakawa. Will the Venus take it home for Toni Storm, or will Chris Statlander keep the championship? We'll find out tomorrow. So, that's it. And WWE Evolve, I know the first WWE Women's WWE ID champion, Kylie Ray, has won the title, but here's the deal. She announced her pregnancy, so she had to vacate that title. So we might see another tournament to crown a new champion. Who knows? Who knows what will happen at that time. Congratulations to Kylie Ray as well. And Naomi's pretty excited. I'm coming over. So, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next episode of the show. So until that next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 telepictures and distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.